Sooner Scoop HD.
Porter, just overall with getting these couple of wins heading into this tournament, do you feel like you're heading in to this Florida tournament with some confidence?
Yeah, we're getting better. I mean, I think to play better, yeah, for sure. And finding ways to win, making winning plays, those are all things that you got to build on. Yeah, we're heading in. We're looking forward to this tournament. I mean, we know it's a really good tournament, but yeah, absolutely. You get yourself rocked on a last-second shot, and then you got to bounce back and played some good teams and found ways to win. That's definitely something to build on as we head into this thing.
How big is this tournament? You get some different teams, Nebraska to start off. I mean, to get it early in the season like this, what is it? What can it do for the team?
No, you just want to keep playing good opponents, and now we're gonna go on the road and to Orlando and play it. So Nebraska's 3-1. We've watched them, and the whole field is strong. It's going to be 3 games in 4 days, and whoever we play, it's a strong field.
Chemistry is pretty huge for you guys at this point in the season. Can you describe how winning games at the end, like you've had the last couple, helps that chemistry? You got guys patting each other on the head and
Yeah.
slapping them on the back.
No, we talked about how we were going to respond after that first gut-wrenching loss, where they don't because that can rock your confidence all of a sudden. And we talked about why it happened, and the guys have been really receptive to getting better, building it. But winning 2 of the 3 after that were somewhat tight. And you had to make winning plays, and you can really build on that chemistry and that confidence down the stretch. Here's what we really built on. Our opening game, they had like 32 points through 34 minutes of the game. Then they scored 7 out of 8 possessions. The last game, the South Alabama game, they didn't score a basket the last 5 minutes. So the confidence and the teaching point of you cannot let up defending and rebounding down the stretch. The last 4 minutes of the game, you have to defend and rebound possession by possession. Sometimes you think it's because, I missed this shot, I missed this free throw. A lot of times it's like you get stops. We got stops, and we found a way to win. So a lot of teaching moments that you can pull out of when you win close games.
Where you talk about the strength of this field in these first 4 games, especially after the stumble to start, is about making winning plays and doing the things at the end of the game to see a win across the finish line. How different is the challenge when this time of year when the competition heights?
I think for as you start to with the competition, we're always thinking about our best selves. You got a respectful confidence against every single opponent. The way you prepare, there's not a team. We don't prepare based on the level of the team. We based on a confidence preparation to help us on our game plan. But with that said, do I think our guys are excited to go to Orlando and play in this field? Yeah, they're excited to play in this field. We come back, play Villanova. I mean, it's like just probably last year, one of the top 5 schedules in the country. So the guys are. I'm glad how they responded since opening night. I mean, the way they've come to practice every single day, and that shows a lot of character because it was a gut punch. But it wasn't a knockout punch. It was not a knockout punch. I mean, that they went on to beat Utah by 10. That team, they're going to have a decent net and all those things. But for us, I love how we responded. Toughness, togetherness, getting better. Now we're excited to go play Nebraska in Orlando.
Well, knowing you've got Villanova and Arkansas after that, how telling could the first games against other power conference opponents, high major opponents be? What are you looking to learn this next week?
I'll be honest with you. I know I just threw Villanova because I know the schedule, but like our focus so much has been opening game against Nebraska. So truly, no matter where it is, you're trying to learn and get better no matter what. But it is you'll have 3 games in 4 days in a tournament setting. And those are great things. You got quick turnarounds, quick scouts in the hotel. You got to check your emotions. If you lose, you got to come back. If you win, you got to stay grounded. There's a lot that goes on in these tournaments at this early in the year that you can learn and build on from yourself, and this is going to be one of them.
Coach, it's almost been a week and a half since the Oxide
Porter joined the staff. How is he settling in? How are the players acclimating to him? Kind of walk me through that.
Well, he just, just started. It hasn't been a week and a half because he wasn't cleared to do anything with the guys just for only a couple practices. So, but it's been great for me because I know him, and when you know somebody and he's been where he's been, he's not afraid to voice his opinion with me or tell me what so I love bouncing some stuff off him. I love bouncing ideas off him. I love asking him what he thinks. Sometimes when you don't know the person, they're afraid to tell you really the truth. I'm a big believer you need truth tellers in your life. And you get truth tellers with people you know and trust. And so he's in the beginning stages of building relationships with the guys because he really just have had only 1 or 2 practices with them. But he's an easy guy to like. I'll tell you that right now. Doc's an easy guy to like, and you'll get to know him. He brings a lot of knowledge of the game and a lot of experience to the game, to our program right now.
Good, Andy. How beneficial are these tournaments, these early tournaments? Is it something that coaches want to play in because of those quick turnarounds, because of just the environment that comes with it?
Yeah, you do. Your conference tournament, the NCAA tournament, you're winning and trying to advance. You're having short turnarounds. You're doing game preps in hotels. You're playing high-level opponents. All those and above, are things you can build on, learn from. We do look forward to them. I mean, we know they're going to be high-level opponents on a neutral court. We know that they're going to be kind of like, you're looking at preparing for down the road of the Big 12 tournament, the NCAA tournament. Those are what you're preparing for, and so yeah, it's definitely those neutral site tournaments. You can really talk to your guys about we're going to be in this situation again sometime down the road.
Is there something that a team can get to, just traveling together, going and doing all that together, being away from everything during a holiday and stuff like that?
100%. Like travel, that's times, hanging out in the hotel together, traveling, going out to eating together. We went to Spain, and you get to know each other traveling. And then so we'll be here there Tuesday through Sunday, we'll be in Orlando. So no time for Disney World, but a lot of time we can hang around with each other and, just the downtime in the hotels. They hang out in the hotel room. I used to play euchre with my teammates, and whatever it may be, now it's Xbox or whatever the heck they bring in the hotels. But traveling is a fun part as a teammate. I think it's just a great thing that I miss. I'd give anything traveling for a week with my old teammates. It's a fun thing they need to take advantage of.
I just want to ask you, as it pertains to what you're talking about with Doc, I guess the obvious that you're playing Nebraska on Thursday. How much can he help with that? He obviously knows that team very well.
Well, he knows it, but there's a lot of different personnel.
Sure.
They're always doing it. One of Fred's strength is he's got an offensive package that's as big as anybody's. He can run a lot of different stuff, a lot of different actions. So they got some weapons. I really like their team. Watching Grizel at the point, he's a different point. He's a big, strong point guard who backs you in, posts you up. They got some elite shooters. They got some good bigs, and they got some good downhill athlete drivers. So, yeah, he's obviously there, but he was retired this past offseason, and so we know that there's going to be a lot of different actions they can run. And I really like the pieces of their team.
A little bit probably asked you last year, but when one of these tournaments, this format, is the whole week just Nebraska? Do you start to look at the rest of the field, or is it just after the Nebraska game, who you're playing, you start to cram for the next opponent? How do you approach that?
So for me, my players, and the assistants that's got this Nebraska scout, it's about Nebraska. And then just like the NBA has an advanced scout, I have other assistants right now that are preparing for the other two teams so that when we know who we're going to play, the whole thing is already prepared. The preparation. So it's kind of like an advanced scout thing with your assistants. But in terms with my players and myself, there's nothing but Nebraska.
Porter, just wanted to ask you about Grant. I know it's early in the year, but leading the team with points and assists. Tanner, after the game Friday, was talking about how much he's loved playing with him. He's kind of already gotten integrated in the offense. Just what is that process? What have you seen from that process of kind of how quickly he's been able to integrate himself?
Well, we saw it in the summer, and he just keeps getting more comfortable, and that's the thing with him. He was cramping in that first game and a lot of stuff, and you just see him now moving on, getting more confident. Played 36 minutes last game. You know, your body starts to, you know, there's nothing you can really simulate like a game. As much as you do in practice, you'll bring officials in, you'll do a scrimmage. It's not like the nervous energy, the actual physicality, intensity of a real game. And through 4 games now, you can just see him getting more and more confident. He's logged a lot of games in his career, so it's not like it's anything new to him. It's just a new environment, new everything. But I appreciate his willingness to try to get better defensively. Watching all of his film before he got here, I've never seen him work harder on defense than he is here. And he still's got a ways to go. But he's intentional about working on it. That's a start. But he's really hard to guard because he can really pass. And I've said that when we signed him. I said that leading up. I go, it's really harder because not only can he score, he can find the open guy. And there were so many times we either have to pull up or then they stepped out on the pull up and then he lobs it up to Tanner. Or he skips it. He makes good decisions on those passings. 8 assists, 1 turnover. I think that's what he had. I'll take it. Anytime. I'll take it a lot. Every time. I'd take 8 assists, 1 turnover.
We have time for one more question, Joe.
Yeah, Porter, the answer to this question may have to play out over the week, during the week on the floor. But how is, at this point, how is Tanner's confidence after over?
So I saw him yesterday, and he was just almost like joking about like, you know, that ain't gonna happen again. That's how I'm talking to him. Heck, I told him when he was 0 for 7. At one point, I pulled him over. I said, man, if I ever miss my first 5 or 6, I would talk to myself and just say, I'm about to get cooking. It's about to get going right now. I think you got to talk to yourself instead of listen to yourself. I think it's a big thing. You can listen to yourself like, oh, you hear all these voices, and instead of just talking to yourself, man, I'm a great shooter. And so that's the kind of way I don't, you know, yesterday in practice, and he had a great bounce, hit some shots in practice. So, you know, we're going right back at him. I want him to shoot. Heck, I wanted him to shoot more than 10. He passed up another 10. If you really watch the tape, he passed up another 10. So that's what you do with shooters. You got to keep shooting. You got to keep shooting. You can't go the other way. No, you can't have doubt. Can't seep into it.
Sooner Scoop HD.